Welcome back to this intimate conversation with one of my favorite comedians, just a real stand-up guy and humanitarian, Rickey Smiley, talking about Sideshow, living with loss and moving forward with faith. That faith being so much a part of this, because when you got the call in January of 2023, 29th, right? Mm-hmm. You went straight into father mode. It's almost like you postponed the grief and went straight into giving directions to all of your kids to what are we going to do to get set up. Explain.
It's just a natural reaction. It's like if a bear is attacking your child, you're going to naturally react and try to do whatever you can for your family.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to grieve because I had to make sure my mother was okay. I had to protect my mother. I had to protect my other kids. Mm-hmm. I had to protect some nieces and nephews that was raised with Brandon. And
you speak about being protective of Brandon's mother. I mean, it was just
because it was a lot of stuff that I felt so bad for them. I feel more bad for them mm-hmm. than I do myself. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't imagine. I'm Brandon's dad. I can't imagine what somebody feels like that carried a child for 9 months, mm-hmm. you know, and I'm a man.
Yeah.
You know, I really feel bad. Our families will always be connected forever.
Yeah, of course.
Brandon's younger sister is my associate producer on my morning show.
Ah.
So, you know, there's a unspoken connection. We don't talk about it every day, but when she see me,
family is family.
When she see me, she expressed that I look like Brandon, and I know that that's Brandon's little sister.
Right.
So there's that instant connection that we have working on a professional set like this every single mm-hmm.
Morning
for the morning show.
Right.
So I thank God for that. I thank God
for that connection you still get.
The connection, and I thank God for her parents for allowing her to be there to work with us, and that just gives me so much comfort having her there every day.
You go so hard for family.
Sure.
And so it was really hard for you to have to push Brandon away, because you said it just wasn't good for your mental health or for your family's mental health to keep dealing with what drugs were doing to him, his addiction.
Yeah. The only regret I have, I did not have a full understanding of how it affects the behavior differently, because I also lost a niece and a nephew. Mm-hmm. But their behavior
how the addiction affects their behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but their behavior was different from Brandon's. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm thinking, but it affected Brandon different. Brandon was more outspoken, and sometimes with being outspoken, you say things that you can't say to your dad,
right,
and stuff. So I had to remove myself because I didn't want to get into no kind of situation, because I'm a man and I'm a dad.
Right.
And certain things you're just not gonna say to a dad, especially a black dad that cook for you, you know, wash your clothes, make sure you
provide for you, helping you take care of the grandbaby,
all of that stuff. So, you know, there was some really, really tough time, and I'm sure a lot of people have went through that.
In your book, you talk about the waves, and let me just say thank you, because it is such a beautiful understanding of what grief looks like and how people can be helpful. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the, Bible verses and the scriptures and the colloquialisms is, oh, he's in a better place. That's not what works always.
No.
Sometimes you talk about just how you just needed quiet and presence of people as opposed to the right thing to say.
Yeah. And therapy.
And
therapy. There's a stigma in the black community of not getting help. If you roll your ankle, you're not going to pull out a Bible. You're going to go to the doctor.
It's true.
The brain is a muscle, just like the ankle.
You said in the book, faith.
And you can heal wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't go get rehab for your ankle, it will be healed, but you will have a limp.
Yeah.
So you have to go and get help so you can process, because there's no class for grief. Right. There's no class in high school, elementary school, or college how to handle a situation when the funeral directors come and roll Big Mama out of that church.
Right. How that's going to hit.
That's trauma. That's like a bad car accident. That's run into a brick wall. That's the first time I ever really experienced trauma was when I saw my grandparents cry at my dad's funeral, and when those funeral directors rolled my grandmama out of that church.
Yeah.
You know
the finality of it. But you've still got all this love in your heart.
Yeah, and like Regina King said, the love has nowhere to go. You just have a lot of love, but it has nowhere to go. But you have to go and get help. So a therapist can teach you how to process those feelings and emotions so it won't start to affect other organs in the body. You get depressed and fall into depression, and your organs start, and then next thing you know, you have a stroke and a heart attack. Some people don't survive grief. They died themselves.
Right. You said something so powerful in your book. You said, my faith is what drives me to my therapist.
Sure. On
a regular basis. And then sometimes people have a hard time reconciling, I believe in God, and somehow maybe going to a therapist makes it seem like I don't believe in God. No,
therapist is just like the doctor. You believe in God, but you're going to go to the hospital if you can't breathe.
Yeah.
When they got that COVID shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting here with COVID or whatever, you're not going to turn to St. John, you know, or to Genesis or Exodus or whatever. You sitting here can't breathe, you're going to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Try to get your situation handled or whatever. And that's the same thing with the therapist.
And you spend a lot of time talking about that on this book tour. We're going to talk about some of the encounters that you've had on this book tour, talking to people and inspiring people when we return. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.